attention applies to relationships and communities as well as to the quest for knowledge about things, processes, and ideas. Almost everyone who has talked to me about the experience of a CTY summer program, for example, has talked about how amazing it was to have a 3-week immersion in meeting new people and making lots of new friends. As one CTYer said to me this summer, I'm not into superficial relationships. I like to form bonds with people and establish deep emotional ties. CTY students know, like all highly capable people know, how to commit themselves to others, and through attending to the needs and ideas of others, you will develop more of the skills needed to do great work and form fulfilling lifelong friendships. Thirdly, pursuing the most demanding education you can is another and very important way to make sure you learn something about paying attention. The best teachers you meet are all people who know how to concentrate, and you can choose courses and programs in and out of school that demand the progressive development of your own powers of concentration. While scanning the world for opportunities is important, gradually you have to be prepared to hone in on something. In college, I personally believe the liberal arts model is a very effective way for people to learn. You try many things, and you take lots of risks, and then you choose a major, and you commit yourself to paying closer attention to certain things in particular ways. If you become an English major, like I did, you will pay sustained attention to words, phrases, sentences, and other verbal structures. If you become a sociology major, you will look deeply and closely for patterns of meaning in other kinds of human constructions, ranging from statistics and demography to institutional policies. If you become a chemistry major, you will carefully observe the design and rules of the elements that control natural life. Finding what you love to do and then paying sustained attention, keeping your eyes open, is the ultimate aim of a great education, and that is all before you. Fourthly and lastly, while it's commonplace to observe that the IT revolution seems to have markedly increased the chances that we will pay only partial attention to the world, the dangers of distraction and inattentiveness are not new nor limited to the allure of email and Facebook. And so even as you practice sustained attention in the era of cyber serfdom, I suggest you can look to other times and to other places to find models that celebrate and nourish the spirit drained by the continuous flow of information. Going back even before Chaucer, think about the Odyssey, to take just one familiar example. A well-known and foundational Western story worth rereading for what it says about a hero who ties himself to the mast of his ship to avoid those distracting female voices, and whose whole journey is all about resisting tempting opportunities in order to find his way home, to find his wife again, to find himself again. On my vacation a couple of summers ago, visiting the island of Kauai, I ran into a less familiar story, but I thought quite a refreshing one, that also spoke to the virtue and possibility of paying attention. And I want to close. I see I have some more text, but some of them involve math problems, so that's going to have to wait. I'm going to close by sharing this story with you. So I was in the Limahuli Valley on the northern coast of Kauai, where my family swam and kayaked and hiked and picnicked in the shadow of that great mountain, the one that plays the part of Bali High in the movie version of South Pacific. The mountain's real name is Makana, which means gift in Hawaiian. So of course now I see a special value in this story for gifted students like you. Makana is the setting for the legend of Pohaku Okane. I do like math. Now I have this question, you don't like math. I do like math, but not doing it in my head. Okay, the legend of Pohaku Okane. Long before humans discovered Kauai, a family of 3 huge rocks, 2 brothers and a sister, were seeking a new home. They rolled across the ocean floor, visiting several islands and atolls before arriving at the north shore of Kauai. As they approached the shore, they were refreshed by the fresh water of Limahuli stream. Breaking the surface, they saw that they were on a reef surrounded by fish. The colors of the land, ocean, sky, and clouds delighted them. Poaha, the sister, was enchanted with this spot and decided to stay. Basking in the warm sun and lulled by the sounds of waves, she soon fell asleep. The brothers, wanting to go inland, rolled onto the sandy beach. After a while, the younger brother, Pohaku Loa, stopped to rest in the shade of hala trees. Enjoying the rustling leaves and cool breeze, he decided to stay. Although his older brother pleaded with him to continue up the mountain, Pohaku Loa contentedly fell asleep too. So the older brother continued all alone, intending to climb to the top of the mountain. When he reached the pali, or cliff, his strength and determination were not enough. He faltered and fell. Again and again, he tried to reach the top, refusing to give up. Eventually, the great god, Kane, noticed this ambitious rock and went to investigate. He asked the rock why he was struggling so hard to reach the top. The rock replied, "Because I want to be where I can watch the world below." Kane pointed that it didn't matter where the older brother was, for he was a rock, and he would surely fall asleep, as his brother and sister had. The older brother insisted that he would remain awake. Kane decided that this determined rock would never give up, that he would continue to climb and fall until all that remained of him was dust. So Kane and the rock made a deal. Kane lifted the older brother and placed him on the top of the mountain. In return, the rock promised to stay awake and watch and remember all that went on below him. Then Kane said, "When I come again, you must tell me what you have seen. When you are ready to go, the island will sink beneath the water and the waves will climb up to you, and then you and your brother and sister may begin to travel again. Until then, watch and remember." And to this day, Pohaku Okane sits wakeful on the mountaintop, and all is well. So that's the story. A rock is probably one of the least likely symbols of engagement, concentration, and fulfillment that you might have expected me to offer. But as Yogi Berra said, you can observe a lot just by watching. Or to quote one of my favorite modern poets, Mary Oliver, to pay attention. This is our endless and proper work. We humans are lucky enough to have many more resources than the determined rock had in order to help us scale the cliffs and stay awake. And we also have many more distractions. In the era of continuous partial attention, I wish you all the strength and determination and ambition of Pohaku Okane. I invite you to watch, remember, and be ready to say what you have seen when someone comes to ask. And again, I congratulate you, and I thank you for your attention and your distraction today. Thank you very much.